Hello everybody, Crow back again with another pickups video. Now I'm doing this pickups video quite a bit differently than I normally would have done it. And for the first reason, I've only really picked up two things since the last time I did a pickups video. And it's just one of the items I kind of wanted to devote a whole video to. But so let's get the other item out of the way. And I picked up Brazil on a Blu-ray, kind of a movie I've been kind of wanting to get on Blu-ray. But I kept seeing it at Fry's for what, like $24 or something like that. I'm like, that's too much money. And then they dropped the price to $13.99, and I was like, I must have this movie now. The only problem is I don't know which version of the movie this is. There's actually 3 different versions of Brazil. And I'm thinking that this is the same version I have on DVD because it has the same cover. And that would be a good version to have because it has the original ending. But if you haven't seen Brazil, check it out. It's an awesome, awesome movie. It's well worth watching multiple times. You always catch something you didn't quite notice before. So yeah, it's probably in my list of top 10 movies. If I ever did put together a list of top 10 movies, this would definitely be in it. I can't get enough of this movie. So let's move on to the main reason I'm doing this video. And that's because, let's just toss that over there. The second pickup, I'm actually using it. I did pick up a new camcorder. If you saw my most recent video, I actually said it, I think. So, so yeah, here's the box. I'm not going to be able to show the camcorder, but if you've seen one camcorder, you've really seen them all. But here's what I picked up. It's a Canon Vixia HF M50, which I really didn't intend on getting. I actually intended on getting the HF M500, which was a like the model lower than this. Canon released, well, they released 6 camcorders this year, and there's the R series and the M series. The M series is better. The R series are basically like low entry cameras, and I think the M series is more of a a mid-range camcorder with better features. I'll just get the price out of the way right now. I paid $545 for this camcorder. And how did this come up? I earlier this week, I wasn't even thinking about getting a camcorder. And then my wife said, hey, what should I get you for your birthday? And I was thinking, I really don't need anything. And I was thinking, I'd like to have a better camcorder. And I'll get to that why later. But then I started doing research, and I was like, you know what? It seems like I'd want a way better camcorder than I've had before. None of this entry-level stuff. I want to be able to, adjust stuff manually. I want to have a camera with a really good mic. Camera I can put in an external mic if I want to, and I do have that option. I have the shoe, and there's actually a microphone import on this. And where was I? But I was thinking, you know what? That's almost too much money to ask for a birthday present. So I checked into my bank accounts and stuff, and I was like, you know what, I have enough money to buy my own camera. So and part of the reason I was like, it'd be nice to have a new camera. The Pinball Expo's coming up. I could take pretty good quality videos at that thing. And since this camera is pretty awesome with low light, that would be awesome there because they basically turn off the lights for that event. So you don't really get any light glares on the pinball machines and everything. I'm also taking a vacation in December, so a new camera would be awesome to have for that. This does take 1080p video. Okay, here's the thing. I was going for the difference between the HF M500, M50, and M52 is that the 500 doesn't have any internal memory, and it doesn't have Wi-Fi capabilities. The M50 and M52 both have the Wi-Fi capabilities. The M50 has 8 gigs internal, which is whatever. And the M52 has 32 gigs internal, which would be great if it wasn't so damn expensive. So I kind of was wandering around. I knew what I wanted. I wanted the M500. And I went to Best Buy first, and they didn't even have the 500. They had the M50 for $600, but they were willing to price match Amazon, which was $545. I was like, that's good to know. I'd come back to Best Buy, I guess, if I really couldn't find this camera anywhere else. And I stopped at a couple other places, but I wound up at Fry's, which I had stopped at before, and I kind of remember them having the 500. The M500 there was $525. The M50 was $545. It's a $20 difference. So it was like, you know what, I might as well spend the extra $20 to have the Wi-Fi features and the 8 gigs internal. Basically the same camera otherwise. So I was like, okay, it turned out to be the last one they had too. So, I picked it up and I, took some footage of it. I was pretty happy with it. But going back to another reason why I wanted a new camera is, let me just go back through some of the cameras I've had. This was the first camera I started using. It's a Toshiba Camellia something or other. Where is it? I know it's somewhere. Maybe it's on the inside. Yeah. Camellia H30, which is a really cheap camera. It was really good. I used it, it was way better than what I was using before, which was one of those DVD ones. And then it just stopped working on me. It wouldn't power on. So I had to run out, and I kind of was looking, I went to Best Buy and was looking, like, that same weekend, and they had this Insignia. I don't even know what the model number on this one is. It doesn't even say. It doesn't even matter. It's Insignia. It's like the Best Buy brand, I think. It was on sale for $99. So I snatched it up. It took, and you can see it in my older videos. Well, I say my older videos, my most recent videos, I've been using this camera. The footage it took was great. However, the microphone on it absolutely sucked, and there was no way to do an external mic. That's why every single video I've done, I've recorded audio from another source. Like I used over here, I got my Snowball microphone. I've been basically, like all my Croplays videos, I've been using that microphone and then syncing up the audio and using the audio from that instead. I'd record it onto my laptop and then take the file, convert it to a WAV file. And that's the other thing. With this camera, it would record it in some format that none of my editing programs could handle. So I bought this other program to convert it to an MPEG-4 format that was easier to handle. So I used to spend hours and hours and hours converting video footage before I'd be able to use it. So yeah, I was getting kind of sick of that. Also, the final straw for this thing is that when I open it up, and there's no battery in here, so it's not going to turn on. The other thing was, and one of the things you'd see in some of my Croplays videos is that you'd notice that I'd be like, hey, my battery ran out. And the reason the batteries kept running out is because I couldn't just plug it in, have it plugged in constantly, and use the power from the outlets instead of having a battery. If I plugged it in, it wouldn't give me the option to record. So that's why I had to use batteries. This one, the one I'm using now, I can plug it into the wall and still use it. So I was actually using it to record more Croplays yesterday before the battery was even charged. So that was great. But here's the final thing, is that I would open this door up and the screen would be completely white. No image on it at all, especially when I would flip it around. So I was like, I'm going to take this screen apart and see what's wrong. But as soon as I took the screen apart and turned it on, the picture would go back on. I was like, I must have fixed it. Put the screen back together, white screen. So I figured that, something was going on with this where it was like pinching something. I don't know, all of a sudden, where it didn't look like it was pinching something. But I don't know if you could tell here. Let me see. Here's another feature I could do. If I touch the screen on this thing, it'll automatically focus in on the area I touched. So that's awesome. So basically, I took the screws out of this thing, and you can see there's a gap there. It's open, and it's just electrical tape around it. and the other thing I was doing was for, let's see, focus there. There we go. Okay. The other thing I would do was I'd walk around. This is one of the most recent things I figured out, is I bought a voice recording program for my phone, and I would basically just wear my phone around a lanyard, record on my phone while I'm walking around with this camera. I don't need to do that anymore. The camera, voice quality on this thing's pretty awesome, but I still will probably want to get an external mic just to make it that much more better. So yeah, that's why I got a new camera. I had the money. I figure I might as well get a new camera and make myself happy. I mean, this is just a hobby for me, and I kind of just want to make the best video I can, quality-wise. I mean, I know in television, dude likes to have, the quality the way he's got the quality, and you know what? It doesn't. The quality really is supplemental to the content. If you've got good content, if you're entertaining, but you've got a crap webcam or something like that, as long as you're entertaining, I'm still going to watch the video. But I like having, you know, higher quality, so that's why I'm interested in getting something better if I can. So that's why I went with this. So what I'm going to do now is actually, I'm going to actually go to the pinball machine and take some footage of that. I put in all LED lights, I'll kind of show off that, and then I'll have some more footage from this camera. Let's jump over there. Alright, so here we are over at the Pac-Man Pinball. Let's just kind of scroll down a little bit. My wife has done some painting. She painted, I know for a fact, this right here. She touched that up a bit. I know there's some other pieces that need to be touched up. Let's see if that'll focus in over there. Come on, focus. I know you can do it. Maybe not. I still have to mess with the settings. So sometimes, like if I get like manually close to it, it'll do it really good. And see if how close I can get to that. Oh, no. So yeah, it's still a brand new camera. I still need to mess with it a bit. Mess around with some settings. That's not too bad. The way it's focusing, not that dent there. But yeah, I know she painted him up and fixed her up. She painted him up. You fixed him up a bit. His fingers actually have too much paint on it, so I'm going to take some sandpaper, kind of scrub that down again, maybe repaint that. I just don't like the way it looks. Most of that's covered up anyway by the apron, but yeah, I mean, this table's got a lot of dirt on it. I'm not necessarily going to try and scrape all of it up. Just trying to make it look a little bit more presentable. Like on here, you see that some of these ghosts here are missing, you know, some paint. I don't know if we're going to actually try and repaint those or not. Especially this guy. Let's see how close I could zoom in on that. Oh, didn't like that. So yeah, and this over here, I think these are a little bit, well, no, they're actually not too bad. Not as bad as the other ones, but to still maybe paint them up a little bit more, fix it up, put some coat on there so so the ball won't scrape off any more paint. But I did change all these lights with LED lights, and I fixed that up. Actually, I had to buy some transistors to fix some stuff in the backboard too. I'm pretty proud I was able to figure that out, because some of the lights were constantly on. Some of the lights wouldn't work at all, but you know, it was all down to transistors. So let's power this on. It can, oops, you know, I can't, it's hard to do this with my left hand. So yeah, we got the, I also replaced the rope light in the back. So yeah, it's a bit brighter, some of the lights. I still don't have the matrix in there. I want to do that too. I need to put the inserts in there. The inserts are still sitting right there. So yeah, this is pretty light. Also, there were like none of the lights, these insert quarters things. Those are all LED lights. There's one sticking up here. I still haven't put in any of the table because I don't want to do that till after the table's been completely done. Then I'll put in the lights. Then I'll put on the rest of the pieces. See, a lot of these lights, it takes a while for. So let me put it in the light test mode. So here's the light test. So yeah, like this A wasn't working. This left arrow, in the light test, it was off when it should have been on, and on when it should have been off. All transistor issues, which have been taken care of. I was actually able to buy those transistors at Fry's, surprisingly. So yeah, when flashing. Oops. And I took a look under the board, and I found out that this light is always supposed to be on. It's just meant to be that way. For some reason, I don't know why. This ghost had been painted up pretty nicely too. So yeah, just kind of showing off I guess the pinball on the table. Actually, let me stop this for a minute. I'll take off this headboard, and you can see I replaced the fluorescent light. Let's see, I got it right here. This light was in the backboard. I've taken that out, and I've replaced it with some rope light. Before I do that, let me turn off the lights just show you, so you can see what it looks like in the dark. Well, it's somewhat dark, but not totally dark, because it's still not completely dark outside. Yeah, you can get a better look at that, though. The rope light, the rope LED light, actually makes the backboard light more evenly, and less bright actually. Because the problem with the fluorescent light was that it was really bright in the middle, and it was causing a glare on the glass. So with that, it should be better. Let me take this off for a second. You can see underneath that what I've done there. And there we have it. That's the rope light I put in there with all the tie wraps. There's not too many holes to tie that to, so some of the tie wraps are actually tied to themselves. But it gets the job done. And that was a really cheap LED rope light. I think it was like $5 or $6 at Target. Good thing Christmas is coming, or not necessarily coming, but they've got all the Christmas stuff coming out in the stores, because these are really Christmas lights. It's a weird effect there with that. So let me get this all situated back the way it was, and I'll do a couple more tests with the camera. I'll just kind of point it at some stuff, and we could you just take a look at it. I want to point it at some screens too. I want to do maybe some portable game systems to see what it looks like. The Nexus 7, my phone, maybe the Vita, just to see what it looks like. And then after all that, I'll post the very first, or at least a portion of the very first footage I took with this camera. So yeah, unless I don't say anything else, thanks everyone for watching. See y'all next time. Bye.
You're headed for Boston. How's about a ticket to the policeman's ball?
I'm scared.
I will mesmerize you with my semi-circular move. Not below the belt. That's my feet. Come on board with it.
It's the disco dancing Hulks. Dead Pikachu. It's a dead Pikachu. Here's some Flash. Pac-Man Pinball under construction. Nice focus. Now you're just sitting there?
I mean, a sample.
Dun, dun, dun.
For your sample.